Mabuhay pageant fans! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey Adam G. How are you all doing, guys? Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched my previous content about the National Costume Competition last weekend. I had fun reading all your comments, whether good or bad. Nag-enjoy talaga ako, guys. Basahin nyo. Super naging immune na ako sa mga binabasa, sa mga sinasabi nyo sa akin online. And nothing faces me anymore. So for today's content, let's still talk about Binibining Pilipinas. But this time, let's talk about its candidates whom we haven't been paying attention for the past 3 months na feeling ko might end up as possible dark horses come coronation night on July 31. Kasi diba guys, when we define the word dark horse, she's one candidate whom we know little about but unexpectedly wins in the end. And with the primer coming up next Monday and the coronation night fast approaching, guys, I have several candidates na talagang binabantayan ko lately kasi there is a strong chance these candidates might end up doing a Resham Said or a Samantha Panlilio or even a Cindy Obinita on July 31. If you guys have been a pageant fan forever, you know that Binibini always loves to throw surprises to us come coronation night. And why is that so? Kasi from my observation the past few years, Binibini has been putting so much premium on its finals Q&A as the ultimate determining factor of its crown selection. Kaya as much as we love to see all our fan favorites to get crowned on July 31, feeling ko there is a huge chance someone will cause an upset to win over the so-called heavy favorites come finals night, diba? So ahead of the primer this coming Monday, who do you think will emerge as the ultimate dark horse of this year's Binibining Pilipinas competition? So here it is. I will list the girls down for you. Just to make everything a bit organized here, I will divide the girls into pageant camps. So let's start with an independent candidate. Yup, I am so surprised that she did not join a camp for Binibining Pilipinas, and she's CJ o Piazza from Zambales. I am so glad, guys, that this woman from Zambales has been garnering the attention that she deserves from pageant fans finally. When I saw her come out being called on stage during the final screening months ago, I was really stunned at how ripped and toned her body is. Talagang toned kong toned, ripped kong ripped. And I knew from that very moment she would be an MGI material. Kasi Filipinang mukha niya, batak yung katawan, ang tangkad. And then, yun nga lang, when I posted about her right after on my Instagram account along with Nicole Budol and Graciela Liman's photos for my MGI early pics, sadly, walang pumansin sa kanya. But now, I am glad that she has been finally noticed after that stellar performance during the press presentation. Actually, if you are following her in Binibini, she has been slowly bubbling up in our list. She didn't, napansin nyo, naalala nyo, she did an impressive turn. She did an impressive belly dancing for her talent during the talent showcase. And then she was adjudged the overall winner for a dance activity. And then tapos her national costume presentation last weekend was one of the lauded ones. And when you watch her ambush interviews online, she sounds fun and decent. And as a pageant veteran, a lot is really at stake here. I just hope that CJ prepares well for her Q&A to seal the deal. Now let's go to Kagandahang Flores camp, and I am seeing 5 girls whom could really be the dark horse in this year's competition. First on my list is Ileana Aduana from Laguna. Yes! I'm so happy to put her here in my list. I feel this woman has been peaking at the right time. Maybe it helps that this 23-year-old licensed medical laboratory scientist is benefiting from the synergy of Pro Media Philippines and Kagandahang Flores camp in terms of the massive campaign or push it is bringing to her candidacy. The moment you lay your eyes on her, have you noticed, you will easily be charmed by her beauty, by the beauty of her face, na chinita with that alabaster skin. And once you get the chance to hear her speak, you will also be smitten by her communication skills. Now, she really speaks well. And as a former candidate of Miss Philippines Earth, she really has a good head over her shoulders. And I also like the fact that she's very specific with her crown target, which is the Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental title. And to be fair, she is really working hard for it. Napansin ko talaga siya noong press presentation and even during the fashion show and national costume competition last weekend. Talagang nararamdaman nating lumalaban talaga si Yana. And I agree with Pro Media head Sir Paul Izan's statement recently to us that she is the most hardworking pro media athlete in this year's batch. Whether it's her pasarela, styling, or her advocacy video, you can feel her, or her tourism video, you can feel her heart and desire to make her province, Laguna, so proud of her. She is really doing everything, even beyond the scope of what she is supposed to do. So for now, there is nothing I would like to critique about her now, except for her to come out with a show-stopping styling come finals night and avoid sounding too pageant patty on her Q&A. And now, the second girl from my KF list is Dimakulangan from Albay. I swear this woman is so long overdue for a crown, but I don't get why this lovely woman has not been generating so much hype among fans, considering this is her second try in Binibining Pilipinas already. I feel Jash is so underrated despite coming out with one stellar performance after the other in recent weeks. Like, why aren't we paying attention to her, considering that she has improved so much in terms of confidence and styling this year? And napansin nyo, palagi na siyang naka-straight hair in a lot of events, whether in pony or lugay, which totally brings out her youthful aura. And I still, and kung titignan niyo yung pasarela niya, ang linis-linis din palagi. It's so neat, and I still don't get why she is not generating so much hype, considering that she has been doing everything right. Sa totoo lang, I really see this girl as a globe material. And now we go to my next candidate from my KF list, and she's none other than Elda Aznar from Davao del Sur. I am really happy for this woman, as I feel she has been getting noticed for quite some time now. When she submitted her application form during the initial screening last April, I already noticed how statuesque she is in person. She is 5 feet 10 inches tall and has a swan neck na bet ko talaga for a beauty queen. And ang ganda-ganda pa niya magdala ng damit, most of all. Fans are even commenting that she kind of resembles Samantha Bernardo in terms of styling. And I agree. Over time, we got to notice her beauty even more in a lot of pro media and binibini events combined. Now, when you trust her on stage, I am so surprised that she moves like a swan on stage. Now, she's very graceful even with her long strides, which we have witnessed during the press presentation and Jag Jean's fashion show. My stage presence talaga siya, no doubt. In fact, I had her as one of my best national costume performers, as she really carried her costume elegantly on stage. Yun nga lang, guys, when I uploaded the footage of the press con for her and her fellow pro media candidates here on my YouTube channel recently, I was quite sad as it only garnered a low viewership, because sayang, if you hear her speak, she speaks with elan, class, and confidence. However, I would probably want her to sound more authoritative when it comes to delivering her answers in Q&A, as she tends to be sweet at times. And the next girl in my list is Jasmine Omi from Tarlac Province. She is another pretty face in this year's competition, but sadly, she has not been getting the hype she deserves. I mean, we all rave about her beauty when she came out during the final screening, to the point we already peg her as Miss International prototype. And I think it really stuck in her head because this pilot turned model is always styled incredibly clean and neat in all her binibining Pilipinas outings so far. Yun nga lang sometimes, Jasmine, however ravishing she looks in her glam photos, is not consistent with her styling in events. Like during the crucial Binibining Pilipinas press presentation, she looks so dated with her wavy hairstyling during that event. Hindi bumagay sa kanya. And I kind of feel that really covered her strongest asset, which is her face. And then, I hardly felt her presence during the Jag Jeans fashion show last weekend. So, yeah. Jasmine has really one of the most beautiful faces in this year's competition, and with the right styling, she will really be able to pull off a surprise come finals night. And now we go to my last KF girl who I am seeing could be a possible dark horse, and she is Fatima Bisan from Sarangani province. As someone who is representing Sarangani in Binibining Pilipinas for the first time ever, this woman has been acquitting herself very well in this competition. Nagugulat din ako Ginugulat niya tayo. Out of all the girls in this year's batch, it is her who I feel bloomed the most naturally. Mas maganda pa siya ngayon compared to her model thin-like body during the screening last April. And during the national costume competition, she had one of the loveliest faces to look at as she registered so well in our cameras. Her presentation performance naman was a revelation as well, as she really worked the stage with her sassy moves and bouncy walk. Tapos when she speaks from the heart, and you could genuinely empathize with what she is saying. And styling wise, she's so feminine with her soft waves and makeup, and it's really working for her. She is really one lady who is really growing on me in this year's competition. And now we go to my third group, which is the girls who come from Aces and Queens. And number one on my list here is Nicole Borromeo from Cebu. I hate to put this Cebuana model in this list, as I feel nobody has been talking about her that much in this competition. And despite possessing a lovely face that could rival Marian Rivera or Carla Abellana, people hardly put her in their possible Miss International list of faves, and I don't get why. I don't know if her shyness and gentle personality may have something to do with it, but when you are given the chance to really interact with her, like during a private Aces and Queens event I was invited recently, one would really change her mind about it. For starters, she is just so sweet, mahinhin, cheerful, and she actually reminds me so much of her fellow camp sister, Hannah Arnold. And when it comes to styling naman, nakikita nyo naman, she always presents herself very fresh and clean. Alta talaga eh. And in terms of communication skills, there is nothing much to say because we all know how Cebuanos always fare in this department, as they are always a killer here. Lalo na when you get the chance to talk to her, she is actually so refreshing and candid with her answers and doesn't sound pageant patty at all. And sayang, this just needs to be shown to a lot of pageant fans because the personality is really there. I know she missed the press presentation due to COVID last time, but I feel this won't prevent her from landing a semi-final spot at the very least. I just really hope Aces has something big in store for her come finals night, as I feel she is really the camp's best bet for Miss International this year. And next on my list is Joanna Day from Bulacan. You know what? She is such a pleasant discovery here in Binibining Pilipinas. Since covering a lot of events, I have been noticing her because of her beautiful face as well. It's very captivating, and mapapansin mo din siya from the crowd. And as you get to know her more, she has a very interesting resume. She is a dive master in her hometown and hopes to become a marine biologist someday. So whether in photos, nakikita niyo naman, and in candids, she's really striking. However, I feel she needs to exert more effort on social media, lalo na if she wants to stand out more, because she tends to be overshadowed by her fellow contestants, especially rin sa events. And in terms of communication skills, She speaks well, but I feel she just has to edit her thoughts well to score a home run in this department. And now finally, we go to my last group, which is the Camp Initiative's ultimate dark horse for this pageant, and I'm giving it to Anne de Mesa from Batangas. Yep, last but not the least is Anne de Mesa from this camp. And I have fallen in love with this certified public accountant from Batangas since her first try in the national pageant last year. And now that she is here in Binibining Pilipinas, that face of hers is really something that you can't miss, as it's really beautiful and can easily stand out in the crowd. She photographs really well in the cameras and has been one of the most consistent when it comes to this aspect of the competition. Pasarela-wise, she is fiercer now with those liad turns. So I give credit to her trainer, Ian Lawrence, for finally making her come out of her shell. Yun nga lang napapansin ko, kulang lang talaga sa hype and paandar itong si Anne, na sana ginagawa na niya sana more pa this year. So who knows, with the last few days, last few weeks of the competition, baka may last-ditch effort si Anne to go all out with her candidacy for Binibining Pilipinas this year. So there you go, guys. What do you think about my dark horse list for this year's Binibining Pilipinas? Do we have the same girls in mind? Or are there any other girls whom I forgot to include in this list? Ahead of the primer, which is coming out on Monday over at Kumu, and our respective final leaderboards coming out on the eve of the finals, it's really now time to focus on these girls apart from the heavy favorites, because I feel some of them will really make an upset win come finals night. Lahat ng mga candidates na minention ko dito, may ibubuga talaga, pero kulang lang sa hype and machinery. And the purpose of this video is to shine a light on these girls because they also deserve to be taken seriously for the 4 titles at stake on July 31. So let me know your thoughts down below about this content. In case you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and bell notification button for more of pageant updates. Alright guys, until my next video, bye!